2024 has got off to an amazing start as far as indie games are concerned. We have seen games like Palworld and Helldivers 2 rack up monumental concurrent player counts, and we have seen some critical smash hits in the form of Pacific Drive and Ultros, and there's still so much of the year to go. So with this whirlwind start to the year, we thought it would be a good idea to take stock of gaming's first quarter in 2024 and reveal some indie hidden gems that may have passed you by, because after all, as much as we might want to, you can't play every game that pops up on your preferred digital store. So, to get you back in the loop, here are some of the best indie hidden gems from 2024 so far that you may want to add to your wishlist moving forward. In at number 1, we have Promenade. First up, we have a cute 2D platformer that seems to have slipped under the radar a little in the form of Promenade. In this one you play as Nemo, a boy who has fallen into a deep underground world and will need to explore, find the cogs to get the elevator working again, and get the heck out of there. You'll have your cute octopus sidekick Pulp alongside you, and with their help, you'll need to solve a laundry list of puzzles, get through tricky platforming sections, explore a variety of worlds, beat tough bosses, and so much more. It's a game that touts itself as a 2D platformer inspired by the best 3D platformers, and that is clear to see, but even with these clear inspirations, Promenade still has more than enough charm to warrant playing this colourful title. The platforming is a little trickier than you might think, so casual gamers beware, but overall, this is an indie gem that you don't want to miss. In at number 2 we have Lil Guardsman. Hey, remember Papers, Please? Yeah, the Soviet bloc immigration booth simulator we all know and love. Well, what if someone took that concept and added a pop of colour and some whimsy? It sounds great, right? Well, then you need to check out Lil Guardsman. Papers, Please was a gritty and grueling fight for survival to feed your family, whereas Lil Guardsman borrows the format of Papers, Please, placing you in the shoes of a guardsman's daughter as she mans the booth in his absence, but the deductive reasoning and scenarios at play have a more cartoonish and silly vibe. It allows for moments of humour, moments of discovery through experimentation without the worry of your family starving at home if you make a poor judgment call, and if you do pull off a bit of perceptive brilliance, you can invest in nifty tools to help you in later encounters. In short, Lil Guardsman is a kid-friendly, charming, and very clever deductive reasoning game, and one you should check out real soon. In at number 3, we have Balatro. Okay, so this might be stretching the term hidden gem to its absolute limit, as it seems a lot of people have already caught on to how good Balatro is, but hey, I'm gonna throw it in here anyway, just to spread the word about this game some more. I can only imagine that Balatro came about when a developer spotted an old, dusty video poker machine in a dive bar and thought, hey, I could make a roguelike around that. That's exactly what Balatro is, a roguelike deck builder that focuses on poker hands, and it allows you to level up the effectiveness of each different type of hand, add multipliers and jokers that make putting together high scores more consistent, and they even throw in some tarot cards and extras to add extra depth. It's a game that forces you to brush up on your poker terms, but as soon as I reminded myself of the difference between a straight and a flush, I was hooked pretty much immediately. It's an addictive and seriously clever deck builder, well worth a try, so be sure to get your blacked out shades on and get your poker face on when you do. In at number 4, we have Turnup Boy Robs a Bank. If you haven't played the original Turnup Boy title, Turnup Boy Commits Tax Evasion, then this one might go over your head a little, but for those aware of Turnup Boy's antics, this is a sequel well worth investing your time into. The original Turnup Boy was a very wacky and well-made top-down Zelda-like with a band of colourful characters and a story that ramped up to a very dramatic grand finale. So dramatic in fact that I worried that the sequel would have nowhere to go from there. But thankfully the game not only provides a follow-up narrative that keeps the crazy train chugging, it also flips the script in terms of gameplay to offer a bullet hell roguelike format which improves on the basic combat of the original game with better moment-to-moment gameplay. If you want to understand anything that's going on, I suggest you play the first game in the series, then when you hop into the second, be sure to steal something pricey in my honour, would you? In at number 5, we have Portal Revolution. While Portal may be a franchise that is about as far removed from the indie gaming scene as it gets, we all know that Valve isn't in the business of completing trilogies, so avid Portal fans have taken it upon themselves to create a fan game to add another chapter to Portal's story, and it's surprisingly polished. In terms of the overall story, it's not too far removed from Portal 2's narrative where you find a core, help them, and then you need to take them down when it all inevitably goes wrong. But let's face it, if you're playing a Portal game, you're there for the puzzles, and for the most part, they are extremely well put together. The new Elemental and Cube editions are fun to play around with, and while the writing is a little predictable and shaky at times, you have to say that the fan developers nailed the overall Aperture Labs ambience. It's a free-to-play title that is dripping in love and passion for the Portal series, so if you want more mind-bending Portal puzzles and don't fancy paying, Portal Revolution is a great game to try. In at number 6 we have Islands of Insight. From one puzzle game to another, but I assure you, you have never played anything quite like Islands of Insight. This is an MMO puzzle game where players will explore an open world made up of a series of floating islands in the sky, and amongst a collective of puzzle-solving pals in the server, you can take on a wild variety of puzzle types that refresh every single day, which effectively means an endless stream of puzzles to solve and a fantasy realm to explore as you do. You can work to unlock cool cosmetics with no microtransactions in sight, you can upgrade your abilities allowing you to unlock new areas of the realm with new and exciting puzzle variants, or you can just chill with your pals and try to work out a mind-bending puzzle together. It's an extremely ambitious game, and while it does have some flaws in terms of performance and lacks some of the multiplayer functionality we have come to expect from games like this, it's still undoubtedly a puzzle-based gem you need to check out for the sheer amount of content on offer alone. In at number 7 we have Beat the Beats. Here's one for the VR fans out there. As someone who tries to keep up with the VR scene, I think it's fair to say that when a VR rhythm game releases, it's only a matter of time before the unhelpful comparisons to Beat Saber rear their ugly head. This is something which I'm also going to do, but for a change, these comparisons are actually positive, as I think this is the first rhythm game in VR, perhaps aside from Simfriders, that matches Beat Saber for quality. Beat the Beats is a game that has the player do exactly what the title suggests, and hook, uppercut and jab the colourful notes that come at you at blistering pace. The concept is fun and tactile, but what's more impressive about this game is that there is a genuine rhythm to each track instead of just a few arbitrary notes thrown at you while a track plays in the background. On release, this is a very strong VR rhythm game, and with some love and support I wouldn't be surprised if we see more licensed tracks, new game modes and more in the coming months, so if you want to get a sweat on, stick on your golden gloves and give this one a try. And in at number 8 we have Bandal Tale, a League of Legends story. Then lastly we have Bandal Tale, a League of Legends story. Shocking wouldn't begin to cover my feelings when I heard that League of Legends, the game with perhaps the most toxic community around, would be the subject of a cute, cozy spin-off game set in the world of Bandal City. It's a game that swaps intense team-based fights and playing as chosen champions for a quintessentially cozy pixel art game where you create a yordle and knit, craft and cook to advance the story and find out what happened to your missing friend Clover. But that's not to say that there isn't any strategy involved here, as you'll need to manage time, positioning of resources and the use of items to make sure events go off without a hitch if you want to maximise the amount of stars that you rake in. It's a game that really makes exploring the world feel rewarding, really nails the community aspect of world building in a game of this nature, and will offer a nice change of pace for League fans who need to step away from the high octane ranked matches for a little while. So there you have it guys, 8 indie hidden gems from 2024 so far. As you can see, if you're willing to dig a little deeper when looking for a new game to play, you might just uncover something that is far superior to the AAA game of the moment. That is a wonderful thing about indie gaming. I hope that this list helps you find a game worth playing in the coming weeks and months, and if you could like and subscribe to the channel, it would mean the world to us as we build this indie gaming community. But that's it from me, I've been Cal, and I'll see you next time.